Tributaries of Lake Scugog are significant yet relatively understudied components of the lake. Most of the research that's been done to date has focused on the lake itself, for example, looking at walleye spawning in the nearshore areas, and the tributaries remain relatively understudied. It was wonderful that we had the opportunity to obtain a small surplus of funds from the Ontario Trillium Foundation to really focus in on the health of the tributaries, and in particularly focusing on how they support biological communities such as walleye. So there's dozens of rivers, creeks and streams that enter Lake Scugog that the majority of people don't even recognize as being important pathways. They probably drive over them every day without even recognizing they're there. The larger ones in particular, such as Nonquan River, are named, but the majority of them that flow into Lake Scugog are relatively small and unnamed, but these are just as important biologically and for water quality in Lake Scugog. The tributaries have been studied, particularly through the Lake Scugog Environmental Management Plan, and some important key findings include the fact that Cockers Creek is a relatively small watercourse draining through Port Perry, yet on a per capita basis contributes the most nutrient loading into the lake. The Nonquan River contributes the most nutrients of all sources, yet the Port Perry wastewater control plant, which outlets into the Nonquan River, contributes only a fraction of that total. One thing we don't know much about is the biological connection between the lake and its tributaries. We know that certain recreational fish species in the lake have migratory tendencies and migrate up tributaries to spawn in the spring. For example, walleye, muskellunge, and white sucker. It's important that we understand the quality of the habitat within these tributaries so we can understand the challenges facing walleye in order to better protect them. There's two priority areas of focus for us. One of which is understanding long-term water quality changes in the tributaries through monitoring at the outlets of all of them to understand whether or not any progress has been made for the Lake Scugog Environmental Management Plan. The other area of focus is investigating the quality of the tributaries in terms of providing walleye spawning habitat. So this type of work related to water quality and walleye spawning habitat is what we'll be working on within the next few months to better understand the connections between the lake and its tributaries.